Hey, Pat Boone is one of the top Billboard recording artists of all time. He is one of the best. We all love him. I mean, who doesn't love Pat Boone? But you know, he's also an actor, he's an author, he's a songwriter, a producer, a record label owner, he's a motivational speaker, but most importantly, he's just a great family man and a wonderful Christian believer. It is such an honor to welcome to our show the forever young Pat Boone. Pat, great having you here.
From your mouth to God's ears.
That's exactly right. And God would say back, amen. That's exactly what he would say.
Good.
Welcome back to Nashville. This is your hometown.
I'm a homeboy, Mike. I'm a homeboy, and I'm a little ticked off that I'm not usually considered a country artist. But man, I married the daughter of one of the great Hall of Fame guys, Red Foley.
Yeah.
And Shirley Foley, 65 years. But I grew up here in Nashville. I performed with Hank Snow on the Grand Ole Opry, and I've recorded more country songs than some country artists, but I'm not considered a country guy. I mean, I think I am a country guy.
You are whatever you want to be. You're Pat Boone, and you can do whatever you want. That is for sure. Pat, you and I had a wonderful experience in Israel together.
Boy, yeah.
And we've been there several times together, but one I'll never forget. A lot of people don't know that you wrote the lyrics to the song Exodus from the movie.
Yeah.
And you wrote it on the back of a Christmas card.
Yes.
You presented that to Yad Vashem, the memorial to the victims of the Holocaust, in one of the most emotional ceremonies I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
They were all weeping because you gave them the lyrics to that song. What's the story behind the writing of that song? It's just so powerful.
Well, the main story is that I'm a Bible guy.
Yeah.
And I knew the history of the people of Israel because I read it many, many times, and I'm thoroughly familiar with it. So I read Leon Uris' great book, Exodus, and then they made the movie. And then Ernest Gold wrote the melody, bum, 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 bum. Those weren't the words.
I could have written that.
But I wanted to sing the song.
Yeah.
And so I asked my manager to contact the publisher, Chapel Music. Is there a lyric? Can Pat Boone sing it? No, there won't be any lyrics. Well, I couldn't accept it. I wanted to sing that melody, but it had to have words. So it was Christmas Eve. I was trying to get an idea to submit to a professional lyricist.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of writing it myself. But Shirley said, please, Pat, it's getting late. Can't we get the presents under the tree so we can go to bed? Honey, just one more time. Put the needle on the record. Bum, 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 bum. And the words came, this land is mine. I thought, that's the whole story of Exodus. Bum, 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 bum. God gave this land to me. And in 20 minutes, Mike, I had written, it's like I was taking dictation. And I had to grab something to write down the words. And when I turned it over, it was the back of a Christmas card. And I'd written the second Jewish national anthem on the back of a Christmas card.
Only Pat Boone could get away with that. That's great.
And then you were there with me.
Yeah.
Very much when we presented that Christmas card framed, and it's on the wall of the Righteous Gentile.
Yep.
Which for me, this kid from Nashville, to know that I've written a song that Shaya Ben Yehuda said they wanted all Jewish kids to know those words, to recite those words, even if they couldn't sing the melody. And for me to have written something, and now on the wall with Oscar Schindler, Corrie ten Boom, and others, for people that helped Israel during the Holocaust, is an honor unequaled in my life.
Well, it is a great, great reminder that God just spoke to you and said, write a song.
Yeah.
What a great segue, because there's another one that Pat Boone has just written.
And I still feel about it the same way.
When I heard the words of this new song that you've done, and it's had over 5 million people download it and listen to it already.
Off my Facebook page,
And I think it's going to catch fire as people start listening to the words, because it couldn't be more time to the song. Can't we get along?
Yeah.
I mean, what a powerful
Can't
message
we work
for
it
America
out?
right
Can't
now.
we be friends?
Yeah.
And those were spoken, those words by Rodney King,
Yeah.
1991, when he was beaten up badly. He was resisting arrest, but he didn't deserve the beating he got, and that sparked the LA riots, which tore Southern California apart, you know, just like these later riots. And when he came out of the hospital to meet the press for the first time, he could have said inflammatory things and sparked the riots all over again. But instead, with a voice cracking still and his face puffy, he said, can't we get along? Can't we work it out? Can't we be friends? I cried then. And I thought Peter, Paul, and Mary are surely going to write a song about this. And I waited, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I wrote it. And again, I felt like I was just taking dictation. And the lyrics are simple, but they're calling for reconciliation, calling for understanding, calling for us to recognize, as some of the lyrics you're going to hear, say the God that lives in me abides or dwells in you. And if I want love, then I must give love. And if I love this particular line, if you look right in my eyes, you might see straight into my heart. I get teary now because it's reality, people in the midst of crisis trying to reach out to each other.
And you know, Pat, music has such healing power.
Yeah.
And the words of this song and the power of it, I think really has the capacity to heal people. You know, people have to
It has to start here.
It does have to start here. But if people want to be reconciled, if they want to stop hating and start loving.
Yeah.
And by the way, I believe this with all my heart. You cannot love God and hate somebody. You just can't do it.
That's right.
And your song so captures that.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you how much we love you, how grateful we are for the many years of service to the Lord, to the country, and what a wonderful friend you are.
And you know I supported you for president.
Yeah.
And I wish he had been president.
Well, we know how that turned out, Pat, but I thank you, I do. Well, I am so excited to have a true icon of American music and entertainment with us today, Pat Boone. Pat has been, yes, it is the reaction that we just spontaneously give because Pat's been entertaining us for 70 years. And he's got a lot of stories to tell, and he does it in his typical smiling fashion in this new book, which may be one of the most important books that's on the market right now. And it's called If, the Eternal Choice We All Must Make. A true American original. I can't wait to dive into his life and experiences. Welcome back to the show, the one and only Pat Boone. Yes. You know what, Pat?
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Pat. I'm still blown away by the fact that you are going strong, writing books, playing golf, doing movies, doing albums, producing and singing at the ripe old age of 88 years old. Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah, really unbelievable.
I mean, God's left you here for a purpose,
Yeah.
one of which was to write this book. You told me something about this book. I'd never heard it. And I'd be honest, I mean, I've been going to church since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Never heard a sermon on this. That the word if is one of the most important words. Why is that word?
The most important word in the Bible is that little two-letter word, if. It's in there 500 times, more than anything except and to. The Lord showed me a couple of years ago, and I had to write the book, and I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Because it's a direct book telling people the way it is, and people don't really want to know always the way it is. As you notice, I say on the cover, it's not religious, but down at the bottom, I say it's the eternal choice you all must make. If is the most used word in the Bible. Not one blessing of God doesn't come with an if. Most people don't know that, but in the very beginning, in the Garden of Eden, everything was absolutely perfect. God gave one law, one command: don't eat that fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. If you do, you die. They did, they died. And from there on, you can't find a blessing. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but have what? Perish? What do you mean perish? Shall not perish, but have everlasting life. the if is, if you don't receive him,
Yeah.
you perish. And nobody wants to talk about that. No, even preachers today don't want to preach that. But the if, now all the way to the book of Revelation, where all the churches are established, including the ones you're going to visit on your tour. And I just visited this last year with the Green family on this fabulous ship. But I wanted to see the churches that Paul had established in his missionary journeys, and I did. But also the ones in the book of Revelation, established churches that Jesus is commending through John the Revelator in the book of Revelation. In some cases, some of you are good, but you have sort of lost your first love. But there's other churches that were established churches. He said, you're so lukewarm, I want to spit you out of my mouth. I mean, we got to wake up. We've got to start getting back to the word itself, but I love the Revelation 3:20, after he denounces the church in Laodicea that I did visit while I was in there in Turkey and Greece, is 3:20, which he says, I'd stand at the door and knock. If you'll just open the door, I will come in and dine with you.
And once again, he says, if.
Yeah, if again.
Yeah.
If again. If. Throughout the whole Bible, it's the most important word because God wants us to have everything that he has created and wants us, if we will choose him. If we don't make the choice, that's why it's on the cover of the book.
Pat, you have had one of the most influential lives, not only as a Christian believer, but as an entertainer. And throughout all of these 70 plus years of doing what you've done it without scandal. You've done it by maintaining your testimony. I mean, that in itself
is dull.
Is a magnificent, no, it's not dull. It is wonderful.
I couldn't resist.
It's not dull.
No, it certainly has not been.
It's incredibly dynamic.
It's been an adventure, and it hasn't been easy either.
But, you know, I'm sure there were temptations to you, just like there were to anybody.
Yeah, I was once a teen idol.
You know, and I just can't imagine. But selling 50, 60 million records over the course of your life, number 16 in all-time record sales of anybody in the history of the world. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I hope people will get the book.
It's so important, that book, because it is, I'm pleading with people that I don't know, but I love you all. And I want to talk to Bill Maher, who is so anti-religion.
Yep.
And I say on the cover of the book, it's not religious, but it is life or death. It's a relationship with the creator of all things, who wants to be our Father and wants us to be his children. And you and I, we've lived knowing this. We have been blessed in our lives because God has blessed us, and we look to him even when we stumble and make mistakes. We know, like a loving dad, he's going to put his arm around us and say, okay, you can do better next time. I forgive you if you don't do that anymore. But if, it's always if. It's up to us.
It's a powerful, powerful message. It is safe to say that everyone in the entire world knows tonight's musical guest. He's one of the very few people with not one, not two, but 3 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for recordings, for movies, and for television. He's a best-selling author. Absolutely. But wait, there's more. He's a best-selling author. He is one of Billboard's top 10 recording artists of all time. He has 38 top 10 hits. By the way, here's a little piece of history. Elvis once opened for him. And this year marks, get this, his 70th year in show business. That's right, 70 years as a teenage idol. And to celebrate, he has released a fantastic new double album called Country Jubilee, featuring a few admirers like Crystal Gale, Ray Stevens, and the Gatlin brothers. Please welcome the king of all show business, Mr. Pat Boone. Thank you, sir. Pat, I'm so excited to have you. You and I have been to Israel together several times.
Yes, we have.
You've been a dear friend to me for a long time. The thing I'm most impressed with, you came to the show tonight, despite the fact that just a couple of weeks ago, you broke a hip.
Yes, I did.
And you're still here.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because I could have stayed home and watched the show.
Yes.
But for the opportunity, I'm not kidding about this, opportunity to be with you on this program and with the way you are changing things in America, I didn't want to miss it. If I had to come with a cane, which I came when I had when I came in here, but yeah, it was like a little less than 3 weeks ago, and I was doing a gymnastic thing. I'm working out, and I broke a hip, and here I am. Because I want to be with you. That's why.
I cannot tell you how honored we are to have you. If anybody doesn't love Pat Boone, there's something bad wrong with them. I mean, as simple as that. How many people at your age decide to put out a brand new album?
Not many. I'm 89. So, yeah, and I have recorded more songs than anybody, in any recording artist ever. Frank Sinatra did 1,500. All classics, I think. Bing Crosby, some 2,000. I've recorded over 2,600 separate songs.
Wow.
But I've got to come out tonight. I think this is the perfect place for me to come out. People have odd ideas about who I am or what I am. But I am going to come out tonight and just come clean. I am a country hick.
You were actually raised here in Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, if people think of you as a California guy, you're really a Nashville guy that ended up in California because of the music and the movies.
Yeah, it was the backwards way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is hometown for me. And I got to be on that special circle there at Opryland several times now with the Gatlin Boys and others. And so this is homecoming, and the album I've done is a very unusual album that has been almost 70 years in recording, because I've been recording country songs my whole career.
Sure.
My favorite songs, I'm the son-in-law of Red Foley, who was
one of the great legends of country music.
Hall of Fame. And so I've been recording these songs, but people thought of me as either a teen idol from way back, a rock and roller, movie guy, TV, gospel, whatever. And people weren't thinking of me as what I really am, a country boy. Yeah.
The album is truly amazing, Pat. And one of the songs is called Grits.
Grits, just plain grits. And it came to me in a dream. This is the truth. I was dreaming I had a big country hit. And, I can tell I was a little chagrined over the years that I wasn't considered country. And in this dream, I was dreaming this: grits, grits, bestest food there is, country caviar, Tennessee foie gras, hey, grits, grits, bestest food there is, keep your fancy food, give me my grits. And I came out of the dream thinking, wait a minute, I think that's a hit song.
Yeah.
And that's the literal truth.
You may even introduce grits to people north of the Mason-Dixon who don't realize what they are missing.
Oh, man, they got to get with the program.
Yeah. Quite frankly, America needs a whole lot more of Pat Boone and your ageless wisdom, your just optimism for our country and for the world. I know a lot of that is heart-based because you've never hidden the fact of your own relationship with the Lord and how that is the centerpiece of who you are.
One of the great blessings in my life is that when I first had a hit record, which was an R&B cover, and then I did Ain't That a Shame and Little Richard's Bop Bop a Loo Mop Bop 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 Fruity Fruity and Rip It Up, all these things. When I first hit the screens and became known, it was already established. I was married. I had 4 girls. At 23, I should have been jailed, I guess, or neutered, maybe one or the other. But I had a family. I was a church-going guy. I didn't have to explain it to anybody. And so that was always part of who I am. I didn't have to explain it.
I'm just glad that you were never a prisoner of fame. You've been a prisoner of the Lord, and quite frankly, one of the greatest influences in our entire American culture. A wonderful and inspiring new movie called The Mulligan. It stars my friend Pat Boone and my next guest. You know him from such hit shows as Nashville, Without a Trace, and Suits, and recent films Legal Action and Indivisible. Would you please welcome Eric Close? This looks like an exciting film. Tell us what Mulligan is all about.
Well, the mulligan in the game of golf is a second chance. So it's not part of the rules of the game of golf, but when you're out with your buddies and you're playing a game, usually on the first tee, you usually hit a poor shot because you're a little nervous. And if your friends like you, they'll say, hey, take a mulligan. And it's a chance to have a do-over. And in this film, we take this concept of the mulligan, a do-over, and we apply it to life because, as we know, we all need second chances in life once in a while.
We really do. I think we're going to see a little clip from the film, and you're going to set it up for us and tell us what we are about to see, and then we'll talk about it when it comes out. So what is this?
Right, well, this is one of the more fun scenes that we got to shoot. It's Pat Boone and I, and as you know, Pat's a friend.
Yeah.
He's a legend. I love him. He's a great friend, a great brother. We hit it off right away. And this was a day we spent about 3/4 of a day in this beautiful Maserati driving around Georgia, and we had a blast. And he even threw in a couple of his songs that he recorded years ago, and so we had a great time.
All right, let's watch it.
Yeah.
Let's go. I guess you're driving. Fortunate people we are, Paul. Not everyone gets to golf in places like this. Ooh, this car is remarkable handling. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Rents for $500 a day. Ooh, that includes insurance? I hear they really get you for insurance. When was the last time you drove like this? 20 years ago, I guess. Back when I still had my license.
Eric, somehow I have a hard time believing Pat Boone ever drove a car that fast.
Yeah, that was such a fun scene. We had a great time shooting that.
So this is, it's a fun movie, and it's got you in it, which is a big draw for the film, and Pat Boone, and everybody loves Pat Boone.
Yeah, they do.
But there's a message behind all of this in Mulligan. What is that?
There is. You know, we have the golf theme in the movie, and in many ways, golf resembles life. The things that happen, sometimes you hit a good shot and you end up in a bad situation, or vice versa. But the movie really talks about second chances, about redemption, about forgiveness, and there's freedom in that, you know, and God gives us those second chances. I mean, that's why Jesus died on the cross for us, is so we can have that second chance, and sometimes we need it more than once. And this movie just reminds us of that, you know, a lot of times, you know, people feel that they've blown it so big time that they don't have a chance, and they kind of give up. And I hope that this movie will remind people of that, and also just the importance of family and friendship. And I was really honored to work on this film. And the other great thing about it is that it's a family you can go see. It's a movie you can go see with your family. You're not going to be covering your kids' eyes. It's just and we need that right now.
That is refreshing, just to know that it's a family-friendly movie that has a message. You and Pat are both avid golfers. So would this film speak to people like Keith and me who wouldn't know a good golf course from a goat farm? Would it still come through for us?
Yes. Well, first of all, it's going to make sense. You won't be confused, like, what are they talking about? But I think anybody who goes to see the movie, they're going to understand the themes. And you don't have to be a golfer to see this movie and really enjoy it. The message is very clear.
Well, we love Pat Boone, and Keith Bilbrey is going to tell our viewers right now how they can keep up with all the great music, the books, and the many projects by the immortal Pat Boone.
Well, it's easy. Just visit patboone.com. You'll find his albums and the music of all his classic gold label records, artists, and a whole lot more.